If you are human, you know what it is to face adversity and trials. When you're facing suffering, especially if it's long term or if it seems unending, there's no end in sight, how do you continue on? How do you keep going? That's what I want to talk about with you today. No matter what situation you are facing, you do have a choice. You get to choose your attitude. You get to choose how and what you think about that person, place, or thing that is causing you pain. And I hope today, if you go away with nothing else, you do find a glimmer of hope. So let's break it down. The first thing to know is that suffering produces perseverance. And you might be thinking, Julie, I am suffering, but I am definitely not persevering right now. I am in the deep, dark abyss, and there is no end in sight. It may be true that it is dark where you are, and there may not be an end in sight, but I can tell you that you are persevering. If you are here right now, if you are listening to this video, that means that you have made it through every single thing that life has thrown at you. No matter what you've been through, you have overcome all of it. There will be an end, and you will come out a better and stronger version of yourself. So keep going, which takes me to the next point. Perseverance produces character. If you keep going, if you keep trying, you will eventually find a solution. You will find a way out of whatever it is that you are suffering through right now. Part of that solution is the attitude that you bring to the situation. There is a positive and a negative side to everything. What you choose to focus on can determine the solutions that you come up with. Whenever you are in school, in science class, they had something called the scientific method. And you made a hypothesis and tested that hypothesis. You were trying to prove whether what you thought was true, not true, and oftentimes you would find it was inconclusive. But let's say that you decided to just give up. You didn't want to figure out the solution. And in fact, you chose not to take part in the experiment. You chose not to make a hypothesis, and you just said, I give up. You can make that choice, but you wouldn't find an answer to the problem. You would, however, find an F on your assignment. In life, you get that same choice. If you're facing a challenging situation or something that is really difficult, you get to choose to either give up or keep on trying to find a solution. The beautiful thing in life, though, is that unlike in science class, the solution for you may look very different than the solution for someone else. Only you can find the solution that works for you. Which brings me to the last point. Character produces hope. If you keep trying, if you keep testing different options, eventually you will find a solution. You will find something that works, even if it's just a little bit. At the very least, it'll be good enough, but at best, it could be something great. Once you find something that works, it gives you confidence because you know it works. And then when you keep repeating it and you keep seeing it work, it just builds and builds that confidence. And that further pushes you to keep going. When you find yourself suffering, it's often from pressure, whether that's from an outside source or the pressure that you put on yourself. Next time you're facing this pressure, instead of looking at it from a negative viewpoint, try a different approach. Try instead to look at it as an opportunity to help you build your perseverance and character. If you continue to try, eventually you will find a solution, and the trials of today will be the confidence of your future. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to give me a like. Also, if there's any challenges you're facing, let me know. You can leave a comment below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram, and you can find that in the description below. Until next time, I'm Joyful Julie.